What is this? Well, I guess I can't do that. D&D Beyond just yelled at me. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Oh, I'm watching. Ha 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 ha. I started a little early. Getting ready to do some world building here. If you'll recall, last week we did some work. We did some work on an area that we're calling the Fickle Tundra, which I previously called the Fickle Plains, but we've adjusted the name because I've found out I'm probably going to have to split it into 2 sections. This was too big. And we're going to have a special guest today. RogueUzu is going to come by. I'm going to tell her about the world and what it's like. Hey, Rusty. How's it going, pal? I did get enough people for my Thursday game. I had to come to some of them hat in hand, but I managed to get them together. And I ran my first one. All right, bringing Uzu in.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
it's going good. It's been a while.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
been a little while. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I've been insanely busy because I'm like now prepping for my own game that I'm going to stream. So,
I've been watching. You've been hard at it.
yeah, so much, and especially like being the artist for it too. So it's like a
Yeah,
lot.
it's like double the workload. This is,
Yeah.
thank goodness for my stupid fingers. I can't do the art for my stuff. Okay, we are currently going.
Okay.
I'm in the middle of it. It's pretty casual. I think there's like 2 people here. But
Yeah, that's fine.
But I mean, so good to see you again. So good to talk with you again. Thank you so much for coming by and doing this. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So I don't know if you've heard, but our current story and our current campaign is ending,
Yes.
and we are starting a fresh one. We're starting an all new campaign. And I thought, man, what better time to start a brand new homebrew world? Because my previous world was kind of couched in like Forgotten Realms mythology and stuff. But I thought it'd be a cool idea to create something fresh. And so that's what I've been working on. And I wanted to bring you in as a fellow dungeon master to take a look at what I've created and provide your input and your thoughts on what I got going on here.
Yeah. Oh man, you got a lot of maps already prepped.
Oh man, I've been at it.
Yeah.
And like you're probably gonna be my last. You're gonna be my first and only guest for the Saturday stream, because I don't think I'm
Oh.
gonna do a Saturday stream anymore. Because I'm running out of world to build, and I wanted to keep
Yeah.
doing this until like summer because I want to launch. I want to do the show for this world in the fall,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going too fast doing 2 streams a week. I think I'm just gonna do the Wednesday streams from here on out.
Gotcha.
Because I've run away with myself on this.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you've played at my table. I've never
Yes.
had the pleasure of sitting at yours, but I would certainly love to someday.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about some of the games that you've run before we get into it. Let's learn a little bit more about RogueUzu before we start talking about my world, which would take up hours, I imagine.
So, I've actually mainly ran World of Darkness games,
Mm-hmm.
which are very different from Dungeons and Dragons games because it's based in modern day times,
Mm-hmm.
and is more around like the urban fantasy of like vampires, werewolves, and like Frankenstein monsters and changelings and stuff. But I still make a lot of homebrew for them, just mainly because in the past I didn't have access to the books like at all.
Right.
And I also didn't have the patience like for like trying to find them and to read them up. So I just made up my own things, based on what I had already from my own experience in playing.
The classic "I'll do it myself" approach.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, look, I love
Like,
it. That's how I started
hmm
actually running tabletop RPGs. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have any books, any frame of reference. All I knew
Yeah.
about it is that my cousin came over one day and it's like, you can just play a game with pieces of paper and numbers and dice. And I was like, I'm gonna do this for everything.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's the best. It's like forget because I'm used to only like homebrew games actually.
Yeah.
Like when I first started, like I've only ever played in like one like game that's actually from like a module.
Hmm.
So I'm used to people just like making shit up because like I also was introduced to tabletop games through my artist friends who are literally like all about making characters and making up their own worlds and stories.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's a very natural thing for us.
Yeah. That's
Um,
something I've always admired about artists is the ability to create a character and then like have that visual representation kind of ready to instantly transfer to the page.
oh yeah, it's really good. Like I'm very glad that Hero Forge is a thing for people because
Hmm.
now you're able to make your characters and everything. Like yeah, you don't have to be an artist anymore to actually like create your character and how they look.
Yeah, you've just got it
But
there.
yeah, it's also always hard because now in the games that I play in, we always want to have like a Hero Forge character because like we make things with them, we make a lot of thumbnails with them, tokens and all of that stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
But now it's hard for me to transfer my style into Hero Forge because I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah, so how does that, man? Because you've got a very specific style, which I love.
Mhm.
Uh, and that's why we keep asking you for artworks. Those who don't know, most of the current Mercs of Mischief merch art has been done by our good friend RogueUzu here. Uh,
That's me.
yeah, you did a great job on those. I love them. The Kashana
Oh,
one
thank you
turned
so
out
much.
so good. It was a conspiracy board.
Yeah.
I was all about it. But yeah, oh, that's so good. That's such a. I mean, I had kind of a similar experience getting into RPGs. Like honestly, in my first 2 years of high school, tabletop RPGs was me and my friends in the school rotunda with loose leaf paper, playing like made up off the cuff Pokemon and Dragon Ball and like Sailor Moon RPGs. Like
hmm
it was just nuts. It was crazy stuff. I didn't even see like a real Dungeons and Dragons book until I was like halfway through high school. And then I was like, "Oh, there's rules and stuff. This changes everything."
Wow.
Wow. So, well, let's get in. I want to hear your opinions about this. Let me give you the pitch. Let me give you
Yeah.
the pitch of this world. All right. So, I
hmm
based a portion of this on early Canadian history.
hmm
So, you're in for a treat. So, basically, the setup is kind of like a survival in an unfamiliar world kind of scenario, real like exploration and like settlement style. So
Okay.
here's the themes behind it. So you have two major empires in this place. We have the Calgarn Empire and the Skatoon Empire. And that's these two guys here. The Skatoon Empire was the first, but Calgarn was shortly behind them. They discovered this new continent across the Dreadtide Sea. Brand new place. What is this new continent? I gotta check it out. Rich with resources, seemingly this just vast expanse of unused land that both empires could take advantage of. Skatoon has a long history. They got a problem. They can't help good. They keep getting into wars with people. At some point, Skatoon was at war with every other empire that is known in the world. They're trying to disconnect themselves from that and move forward in a more peaceful capacity. So they have a tenuous peace with the Kargarn Empire, who have been their most bitter rival over the years. The two empires have agreed to settle the land jointly. There's still some competition, but so far the peace holds. When they move into this land, and let's go to a new map. There we go. When they move into this land, they learn something very quickly. It takes a couple years to figure out what happens. But when winter comes, there's blowing snow, everything gets dark, there's basically no daylight to speak of. And then when spring comes around, every settlement that is north of flowing water is empty. All of the people are gone. Nobody knows where they are, nobody knows what happened to them. So after a couple of years of this, they figure out, okay, when winter comes, you cannot be north of flowing water or you will disappear. Anybody who goes into the winter winds north of flowing water never comes back. And so you have this world that has these harsh winters every year. There's a lot of preparation, a lot of getting ready, and then, of course, any camps or any place that harvests resources or does anything north of the rivers needs to come back and basically seek shelter on the south side of rivers before winter comes. And the first day of winter is referred to as last light in this place. It's kind of what the settlers have all begun to call it. And so, of course, we have, this is the place where the early settlements started to happen, and the Ghostlands are the first settlers to learn the lessons of Last Light, and their buildings and their structures and farms are still kind of out there abandoned. There's a lot of ghost towns and buildings out there, until they learned exactly what happened. The strangest thing is, this entire land appears to be unpopulated. There doesn't appear to be anybody here. So it's all just settlers from the Calgarn and Skatoon Empire and whatever settlers can squeeze their way in from the two smaller empires, Renvali and Melongar. But they keep finding these massive underground vaults all over the place, filled with treasure and magical items. And nobody knows quite where they're coming from. The whole place is a bit of a mystery. And that's it. The campaign is about learning to survive in this new world. And the story I'm going to get my players to play through in the fall is going to be kind of a Northwest Passage style thing. The two empires have decided, okay, we need to find out how far this continent goes, where it ends. The first person that can find the eastern coast and claim it for one of the empires will receive a massive reward. And that is going to be one of the inciting incidents for the party to go out and explore. So that's the pitch. What do you think?
Okay, that's really interesting. I really like this ghost kind of story feel to it with that backstory, because listening, I was on mute because I'm also eating at the same time. I'm just slowly munching on fries as I'm hearing the ghost story part. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh damn.
want to make a character and solve that.
I mean, I'd love you to play in this world. I might bring you
Yeah.
back in for like even a guest spot.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna do this one for 10 episodes at first, and then if people really like it, maybe we'll bring it back. But yeah, and so I wanted to introduce you a little bit to the empires because if you recall, I had spoken to you about perhaps doing some art.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I would like to definitely for sure commission you for some coat of arms for my main empires here. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about them.
Yeah.
So we've got our Calgarn Empire. Calgarn Empire's main ideals are commerce, free market, and ideas. It's like Rapture on steroids. If you ever played BioShock. You ever play BioShock?
BioShock?
Yeah. The first one.
I have not actually, no.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just like the whole deal is just like completely unchecked commerce. It's really kind of like a libertarian style thing. Where it's just like, hey, as long, there's no formal government. There's like a collection of high-ranking businessmen that operate a council that takes the place of a formal government. And that seat on the council can be bought and sold depending on who's at the top of the economic ladder. As a result, if you're a poorer person in the Calgarn Empire, your life probably sucks real bad. You're probably working for a jerk who's not paying you enough. A lot of corruption at the top of the ladder, but also a lot of innovation in this place. It's kind of free market madness in this place. A lot of people are just creating new crazy things. It's a mad scientist paradise because anybody will fund your crazy stuff if they think it'll make them some money. So that's the Calgarn Empire. That's what they're all about. They don't have their own formal military because of the way it's structured. They actually have a collection of kind of military contractor, kind of mercenary agencies. And they're known as the Chimera, the group of them together.
Ooh.
And where did I put my notes on the Chimera? They would have been here. Haha. So I've been writing notes on everything, and I'm like wanted to get started with like World Anvil or Campfire Blaze, but I also like pitched them to see if they'd sponsor the show, so I didn't want to get started with either one until I found out. You know.
Yeah.
So okay, that is point. There we are.
Yeah, it's actually like it's known for my players that it's actually very dangerous if I am making notes about something because usually I don't make notes.
Oh yeah.
So when I actually make notes and write stuff down for something, that means it's something very important.
If I'm writing
And
something
plan it
down, it's trouble.
Exactly. They're just like, oh no, I think actually one of my players is actually in the chat right now, Scraw.
Hi, Scraw. Thanks for coming by. So yeah, okay. So there's the charging ram. So it's three portions of the Chimera. There's the charging ram, Herbert C. Ramathorn, a pompous, stubborn dwarf who enjoys smoking pipes and planning battle strategy. He operates the kind of standing troops and navy, and the largest of the military contractors. There's also the Lion's Bite. The leader is Katerina Kyle. Specializes in espionage and guerrilla tactics. I didn't pick a race for Katerina. I should probably figure that out. And then, of course, we have the Serpent's Sting, which is Set Kruger. And it specializes in long-range combat, bombardment, and artillery. And these are the three sections that make up the kind of mock military that exists in Calgarn. And because they're at peace, there's a little bit of a problem because the charging ram isn't getting as much work in peacetime because that's not what his operations are geared towards. However, the other two can still be utilized in some corporate espionage and some corporate works. So there's other things that they've been up to. So he's a little bit hard up for funds these days. And that's the Calgarn Empire. That's what those guys are all about.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of already getting like an idea of what I can do for a crest.
Oh, you're up. This is what I love about you. You're always thinking. This is
I'm always thinking.
you're on top of it. I was like, I was just gonna bring Ozu on and tell her about the empires, and I'm sure she'll come up with something.
Yeah.
And then we've got our Skatoon Empire. Skatoon Empire main things are like unity, strength, dignity. They're kind of my English Empire stand-in. Because I actually based it a little bit because at the time when the English Empire was like settling Canada and stuff, they were in trouble. Like they were hemorrhaging money. They'd spent all their money on tea and fighting every other country in Europe for years. And they're like, we're in trouble. We're in danger.
Yeah. As soon as you had mentioned earlier that they like that this is like a country that's like been at war with like everyone, I was just like, oh, so like, England.
Yeah, right? So again, very formal. It's a monarchy. It's a constitutional monarchy, so it has the same kind of setup. They formerly had an emperor. The emperor stepped down in kind of a soft coup. Basically, the entire nation was tired of the wars, tired of going broke. They wanted somebody new. And the emperor's daughter, very popular young lady, a Leonin, was basically chosen by the people to succeed her father. She had other siblings that were supposed to be in line, but the people said, no, you're out. This is too much. We want her. So she has kind of been thrust into power, and she is a powerful Leonin Empress. She is not afraid to go on the front lines with her soldiers. She's kind of the people's Empress. And she's Empress Hisui is what I've called her. I haven't given her any other names beyond that, which I should probably think about now that I think about it. They're super different from the Calgarn Empire as far as they operate. Like a lot of the corporations and stuff are kind of operated by the crown. So the main corporation, the largest one in the empire, is called the Royal Saskatoon Trading Company. And there is a representative of the Royal Saskatoon Trading Company that kind of co-runs the primary settlement city in the new continent, which I'm calling the Treasured Expanse. Hisui also has her cousin, another Leonin female who is an aggressive hunter. She loves the wilderness. She loves hunting. She loves all this stuff. She's a duchess, and the guy from the corporation has kind of become his de facto handler. So he's like, no, you have to do like duchess stuff. You have to do ruler stuff. And she's like, no, woods.
Free me.
Yeah.
Set me loose.
Yeah, set me loose. I love nature. And she like loves hunting and all this kind of stuff. So it's a real dynamic between the two of them. And maybe the corporate guy has some dark ambitions, but we don't need to go into that. So that's the Skatoon Empire. It's very much like unity, strength, dignity, very, very English, ruled by Leonins right now. And yeah, very royal. And in fact, they even made their main settlement this big, lush, beautiful city. They wanted to make it as impressive as possible. They call it Pride's Reach because they wanted new settlers that came to the Treasured Expanse to not be intimidated when they arrived, because they have a lot invested in people coming to this place and staying. So they wanted a place that when people arrived, they wouldn't get scared and go home immediately. So very, very opulent, very high-end, but at the same time, people that need to pay bills. So their agenda in this place is we need to get resources and we need to get cash flow going. Hisui is just trying her best to make sure that peace is maintained, because that is something that she has promised the people. With Renvali and Melongar, the two smaller empires, I had a little bit more fun. I didn't have a particular country template that I was going off with these guys.
You just kind of did what you want.
Yeah, I just kind of did a thing, and one of them
Yeah.
I kind of did a thing to make one of my players happy, but
Yeah.
you know, I want them to have things they like.
Yeah,
But
no, I know. That's definitely always something that's good to do. Like, and I think, like, you can always build things as much as you want as a DM, like with
mhm,
world building, but I think that it'll always add more perspective and flavor and like in a way help flesh out your world from directions that you don't expect when
mhm,
you get new things from your players because they'll end up
absolutely.
bringing in like a thing in like what they want of their hometown or something, and you could build up an entire like fucking country from it. It's really fun.
It's so good. Like, I mean, I love getting feedback, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring more people in on this, because I'm like, I'd love to get the feedback. Because I've been doing this for long enough. I know a lot of dungeon masters at this point, so I just kind of want to
Mhm.
bring people in and be like, "What do you think? What is this? What would you like to see in here? What does this need?"
Mhm.
All right, so Renvali's a little bit weird. Renvali is a monarchy, but more in a figurehead style. So the Renvali Empire is ruled by Old King Tiltark Dominus, an ancient tiefling ruler. Legend has it that the Renvali Empire was founded by a group of tieflings that defeated an archdevil and escaped to the prime material world to establish a new kingdom for themselves. While this explanation of the kingdom's founding is largely accepted by the populace, there's little evidence to support it. It's kind of a question mark. Triltarch rose to power after the death of his mother, Queen Fabriza Dominus, and in 60 years he has not sired an heir. He's had several marriages. He just hasn't been able to make it happen for whatever reason. Nobody knows. The society itself is very heavily based on individual freedoms and the knowledge and the idea of community. So because their legend of their founding is so ingrained in throwing off oppressors, they don't ever want to have another ruler. They're just not into it. So instead, it's very community based. So if you say moved into a Renvali community, you might be questioned as to what you can bring to that community and how you can be of use to it before you're allowed to move there. It's very much working together. Everybody gets together. We're stronger together. This is what we do. So each of the communities in Renvali has their individual representatives that are allowed to voice their concerns and help make decisions as far as how Renvali is run. However, in times of crisis, they pass that up to the king, who will run like military end of things and take care of the place. Over the years, Renvali communities have always banded together for what's best for the empire. They have a frosty relationship with Saskatoon because during the last war they lost quite a bit of land to them, but they just want to live peacefully. Is where they're at. So it's a very, very community focused culture with them. Unity,
Ouch.
together, you know. Hey, you're part of the community. You're a friend.
Hmm.
And if say if you had like a player from the Renvali Empire, if they saw people like competing with each other that lived in the same place, they'd be like, "This is insane. Like this is
Like, what are you doing?
this doesn't make any sense to me." uh, Melongar Empire is another constitutional monarchy. Has a prime minister and an empress. The empress is a young dwarven girl. She was kind of thrust into it after her father died in the last war. Melongar Empire is heavily, heavily, heavily based on the idea of honoring one's ancestors. So much so that it is common practice in the Melongar Empire to have ghostly advisors,
Ooh.
to have the ghosts of your ancestors actually accompany you and give you advice long after they've deceased.
Hmm.
So houses, if you go into a house in the Melongar Empire, chances are they've got a house ghost, and it's probably great grandma, and it's just
Grandma.
hanging out. It's just they just hang out with the ghosts of their ancestors. Because of this lifestyle, they've had these kind of this group of shamans, people that they call nurse mediums. And nurse mediums are basically necromancers that assist in the care and instantiation of these ghosts and spirits. And they're also responsible for ensuring any spirits that are mistreated or having trouble do not turn into malevolent spirits or evil spirits. So they're kind of combination counselors, nurses, and exorcists when necessary. And they just kind of pass that knowledge down to each other. You have to be a nurse medium's apprentice to learn to be a nurse medium. And it's not uncommon for a nurse medium to kind of be like a wet nurse or like a midwife servicing a community, or in wealthier families, just having their very own nurse medium employed in the family.
I really like that.
I was really excited about this one when I created it. I was like, this is really cool.
It's really cool. I really like that. Yeah.
The Prime Minister of Melongar right now is a fellow by the name of Gabriel. He is a halfling, very good public speaker, gives incredible speeches. A bit of an oddity, he has no spirit advisors.
Oh.
And when his detractors question him on it, he says that he keeps his focus on the future. He thinks that the Melongar Empire needs to take a larger place on the world stage.
That's dangerous thinking.
Indeed. Gabriel Larange is what I called him. Yeah. He's a career politician. He's the son of a wealthy mine owner. But yeah, those are my 4 empires that I'm gonna need coat of arms for.
Yeah, I can definitely do something for that. Like, I already got like some ideas for about like pretty much like most of them
Nice.
for now. So I'm already kind of like going over like the thoughts and ideas in my head. Like I'm still gonna do a little bit of research of coat of arms to see like
Oh yeah,
some of
absolutely.
the things that are like symbolization and whatnot. Yeah.
Oh, I'm down with it. So,
Hell yeah.
a couple other things. Scale lands is dragon territory.
Yeah, I assumed.
Uh,
Dragonborn or dragon?
dragon, straight up.
Ooh.
And in fact, there's a huge question mark across the empires as to whether or not Dragonborn have any connection to the dragons who rule the Scale Lands. So it's always, there's always a little bit of fear when it comes to dealing with Dragonborn in the empires as to whether or not. And in fact, I established this a couple things ago, and I thought it was cool. There is a saying amongst the empires: when you insult a Dragonborn, the Scale Lands quake.
Ooh.
And that is a saying that means watch what you say.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's just kind of that. It's kind of the place where monsters live and that kind of thing. Everybody, the land that they have, they fought the dragons to get. And then they're like, if any foot is set into the Scale Lands, it's done with a great deal of trepidation and concern. And usually not done in connection with any of the empires for fear of inciting a war with the dragons. I have no idea what to do with Segrendel yet. I just kind of came up with it last time when I did some work on the world map. And I'm like, something. I'll figure it out later. It's probably not going to be important, so I've kind of pushed it to the back burner because the players are going to spend all their time in the Treasured Expanse. I just really wanted to establish the empires, because if we meet an NPC or if somebody makes a character from one of these empires, it's important to know what the culture and the standing of that empire is, because that will, affect how I represent the NPCs, and it will affect how the players want to carry themselves in the world. So it's different kind of setup altogether. But
Maybe Singerdale is like a very like Fae like related area.
It could be too, and I actually want to talk about this. Speaking of Fae,
Yes.
so the Treasured Expanse. Nobody knows what's going on with the Treasured Expanse. All of the empires want answers. Saskatoon and Calgarn are basically running the show in the new continent. But there's a lot of companies that kind of spread it out on both sides that are trying to get an edge on this place that's just got this fertile soil and tons of resources, but seemingly no people here to hinder expansion. They've reached out to Fey creatures because the Fey realm, of course, has no boundaries. They've reached out to the Fey creatures in hopes that they can be kind of guides in this new place to help point people in the right directions. Results have been mixed.
As it usually is with Fae.
Yeah, because of
Never trust them.
the very nature of Fey creatures is trickery, right?
Yep.
So there are a new kind of thing has cropped up, and they call them company Fey.
Ooh.
And a company Fey is a Fey that has signed on fully a contract to assist a corporation in its expansion in the Treasured Expanse. And company Fey are lauded. They are considered incredibly valuable people in the company. They're put on pedestals. They're given everything they could need. A lot of money and excess and protection is thrown at them in hopes that they don't like leave and go work for another company. So if you can get a Fey to sign on with your company, the companies generally do everything they can to hold on to them. But it's a double-edged sword because the company is also looking for results. And if the Fey doesn't provide them, the company starts to get angry, and then the Fey could get into some trouble. So it's a strange scenario with Fey creatures. So there's a lot of different takes on the company Fey. And some of them might just be enjoying the lifestyle and seeing if they can bullshit their way long enough to get what they want. So what do you think of the idea of company Fey? Because I've kind of been pitching that one around.
I think company Fae is very interesting. But it also like makes me kind of think and like wonder why a Fae would kind of do that. Because like at least from what I know of Fae, like they're very chaotic and everything, and they're very tricksy. They will twist and play your words against you. They're also like I'm used to Fae having like this like intense like almost carnal like want of like freedom. And so to stay at a point, it makes me wonder like why they would. And so it's just like there's a part of me that's just like, what's the trick here? Maybe, like, what are you doing?
Maybe the company Fae are Fae that have had. Maybe there's a more powerful Fae that's after them in the Fae realm. And this is their out. This is their like, well, if I'm hanging out in the prime material and everything's cool and I've got people to support me here.
So, like, this could be so. I don't know if this is actually a thing in D&D or if they keep this or whatever, but in a lot of things that I'm used to with Fae is that their true names and that their titles are something that's very important to them. And so maybe there is like a powerful true Fae that is after these certain thing, like these certain Fae, and they take on these contracts to become company Fae because that gives them a new title and therefore a new name that they can't be tracked by.
Oh, like a relocation thing.
Yeah. It's like new identity, new phone, who this? It's not me.
Yeah. Like a witnessed relocation for Fae.
Mm-hmm.
New contract, new name, new title. Who are they? Who knows? Can't find them anymore. Not on the list.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. That's an excellent idea. I'm putting that in my list of thoughts and things that I need to keep track of.
Yeah.
So I also had another thing. It occurred to me partway through doing this. I've kind of created 4 empires that have little room for religion, and I need to come up with some gods. Because, like, I don't think any of my characters are going to make, like, clerics or paladins. I know my players pretty well at this point, and they're probably not. But, I mean, those people will likely still exist in the world somewhere, so there should be some kind of spirituality or something.
Yeah.
Also, there might be a Ladrin Rusty, but I don't know if we're going to see Ziegfeld again. I know where you're going. You do a goofy German voice for a little bit, and everybody wants the character to come back.
I know, right? Yep.
So I need to come up with some gods. That was what I wanted to do today, and I was wondering if you perhaps had any input. Because I've never created, like, a pantheon before.
Yeah. Let's see here. I've only made up, like, one god.
Oh?
Which was, like, kind of ended up being, like, this entire, like, shadow figure in my first game of Atlantis.
I see.
Yeah. So I guess usually, like, if I were going to be making gods, I would kind of choose, like, you know, obviously, like, I guess, do you want to go off of elements? Like, do you want to go off of, like, water, air, fire? Or do you want to go off of light, darkness, life, and death? Like, I guess I'd personally start small and choose, like, some kind of theme that goes from, like, a base.
I like the idea of deities based on concepts. Or even, like, ancient people who have kind of been deified. Like, they're so old and their deeds are so great, they've fallen into legend. And it's like, oh, that person was probably some kind of incredible deity from the things I know about them. I feel like those two concepts are probably the best way to go with the world that I've created.
Yeah. No, I get you. That actually just reminded me that I stand corrected. I was wrong. I've actually made 2 god characters. Because another god character that I made is literally based off of that, to where they were just this figurehead of a great deed of a story that was made, and, like, they were exaggerated and, like, praised so much that basically their essence was reformed and became a god because of the story and because of the concept that, like, they laid forth and what they did in their actions.
Nice.
So, do you want, like, a god for each empire?
I think that's a good place to start, and maybe, like, there's 1 or 2 in some of them. Like, okay, let's start with Melongar, because it probably by far has one of my favorite and most interesting backstories, and it sounded like you liked it too. That's the place with the nurse mediums and stuff. And I actually had a thought about this earlier today in the shower, where I have all my best thoughts.
Yeah, that's the best place to think.
It is. Hands down. I wanted to pitch this to you too. Okay, I guess if you guys are watching, this is like a sneak peek at what's happening in Mercs right now. So, this is unrelated to this, but I'm just going to tell it to you. So, I had this idea for a new show the other day while I was having a shower. I want to call the new show First Day Night. All right? KNIGHT. And I want to bring on people and creators who are unfamiliar with D&D but want to give it a try to come have their first D&D experience in a one-shot on a show. To be our first day night.
Oh.
Huh? I thought it was clever.
Yeah, no.
I was super into it. We're going to see if we can make that happen. But yeah,
Yeah.
good shower ideas. Anyways, Melongar Empire. So I would love to see. I was thinking about this. So we have the nurse mediums, right? They're kind of the shamans. They're kind of the caretakers of this world. They
Yeah.
ensure that the family ghosts and the ghost advisors kind of remain healthy and can stay in this plane and all that stuff. Also, very sad. I went with Coco rules for the ghosts. If everybody forgets, you begin to rot and fade away.
Oh no.
Yeah.
This sounds like a very pagan place then.
Right. And I was thinking, what if there's a god that's kind of like a shepherd for the lost and forgotten souls,
Ooh.
the ones that have no more family to take care of them
Mm-hmm.
and have to shuffle off, or just aren't reached by family in time in order to become a family ghost. I was thinking something like a shepherd or a caretaker or something. I don't know. What do you think?
So I just got like this random, not this random idea, but like I got like an image in my head when you were kind of talking about that,
Okay.
and I imagined like this very like tall kind of lithe figure of like an actual shepherd. Like they even have like the big walking cane, this curled end to it,
Okay.
but they have like this very like large flowing cloak behind them that looks like it's made out of sheep wool. Like it's very just like fluffy basically. And like they find these spirits that are forgotten who just look so tired and they're running out of energy, and they just like beckon the spirits to come and to sleep to rest. And so they lay to rest in the cloak of the sheep wool,
I hope,
and slowly they just actually merge into the cloak,
I
and
hope
they
that's where you were
become part of the
going with
wool.
this, because I loved it.
Yes. And then they just continue to walk until they find the next like soul that they would like beckon to rest.
Oh, I love it. That's so good. Okay, what do we want to call it?
Hmm.
Also, yeah, those of you who want to see, this is Songa. I gave him lots of attention before the show in hopes that he would not interrupt the show. And he decided no, he was going to do it anyway.
I'm like awful at names for like.
Right? Okay, I want to. The Soul Shepherd. He who brings to no fuck. I don't know. The Soul Shepherd is just kind of like. It's one of those names
That is misleading.
Yeah, it's misleading, and it also sounds so basic. Your brain tricks you into thinking that it's no good.
Yeah. Let's see here.
That's not good enough. It's not complicated or meaningful enough.
Mm-hmm. I'm like going to thesaurus.com to look up different names, for, like different words for shepherd.
The Soul Shepherd, the Spirit Wanderer. I know. The Rest Father. The Soul Herder. The Spirit Herder.
Maybe, yeah. God, names.
Okay,
names so hard. Names take forever.
Let's imagine. Okay, well, let's imagine we're nurse mediums. All right.
Yes.
Okay, we have just gone to a house. We have exorcised a malevolent spirit. It wasn't being taken care of properly. It wasn't being properly respected, and it lost its mind. we exercise the malevolent spirit, and after we exercise the malevolent spirit, we say a prayer to ask that blank take this malevolent spirit, give it clarity, and bring it to its rest in your woolen cloak. Spirit herder, gather this malevolent spirit and bring it to rest in your woolen cloak. Rest, Father, gather this malevolent spirit and bring it to rest in your woolen cloak. Soul shepherd, gather this malevolent spirit and bring it to rest in your woolen cloak. I don't know, what sounds better? Spirit wanderer, we ask that you gather this lost spirit and bring it to rest in your woolen cloak. Yeah? Maybe we haven't found it yet.
Not sure. I feel like it could be like one of those things where like they have multiple names anyways.
Right? Like, yeah, like, and that happens all the time.
Yeah.
The lost gatherer, or maybe just give it like a name, just like
Father of the Weary. I don't know.
Father Weary. Ooh. Lost Tender? No. Feels like the nurse would refer to it as something positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's definitely like something that's said in prayer in hopes of, like, you know, putting a spirit to rest. Okay, let's just call him, what about the Night Keeper?
Nightkeeper would be good.
Dear Night Keeper, we ask that you, because maybe he moves around at night. Maybe there's like a little lantern that hangs from the crook of his shepherd's staff and his long woolen cloak, and he's the Night Keeper.
Let's see. I keep on feeling like I have a word, but then I don't. But then I lose
Just like,
it.
yeah, right? Song, no claws in my leg, please. I'm begging you. Okay, maybe we're coming at this the wrong way. Maybe this entity is like an ancient nurse medium who ascended in order to ensure that lost spirits would always go to rest. And the nurse medium had the name of Roger T. Whitman.
God.
Dr. Swivens. Dr. Sleep. No. Turvold Night Whisper. Father Night Whisper. Father Spiritfarer. Father
Fair.
Father Fair? Maybe. Father Fair? Father Fair, we ask that you take these lost spirits to their final rest and let them find shelter in your woolen cloak. I think it sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna put a star next to Father Fair. I like that the best so far.
Yeah. Maybe something to come back to later because we
Yeah.
might be thinking on it too long right now.
Yeah, we might have just beaten this one to death. All
Yeah.
right, Father Fair.
Father Fair.
Father Fair. Excellent. I like it. All right. So, from there, if we go to Renvali, community spirit.
Hmm.
What do you think? Because that's like their whole thing. Or I have two ideas. I have a community spirit, not necessarily an entity, but like a feeling and philosophy that has a representation, kind of like Buddhism,
Mm-hmm.
where it's just like, hey, these, follow the teachings of blank, who is the community spirit, or who is like the embodiment of what it means to just keep working together, to not have to deal with any tyrants or rulers, or to deify the person who liberated them and slew the archdevil.
Maybe. I feel like maybe also the possibility of them kind of worshiping something that's more like abstract, like maybe not an actual person, but like, kind of like like a tree,
Right.
like some kind of
like the concept, like some kind of...
like to where like a garden is kept alive and kept fruitful and everything when you take care of it, when you take care of each other and like are working together as an actual community. You don't let the garden die.
Right.
So
like a deity that's kind of like growth and hard work.
Yeah.
I like that. Person, growth, and hard work. I kind of like the idea of this one being like a buff lady.
Yeah.
Just represented as that, like this big farm girl that's like just ready to go. Growth and
just
hard
Louisa.
Work. Yeah. Just call her Louisa. God, so many good songs.
Yeah.
Pressure hits me, man. That's
Oh, I know. Same.
Right? So good. Okay, I've pet you. I've given you lap cuddles. I'm going to let you depart now, so that I'm not having your hair all over me for the remainder of the stream. Thank you. Okay, good cat. Right. Got Robert the Brave. Okay, let's find a way. Wow, God. Svenja. I'm going very... like, my mind instantly goes, like, very Eastern European as far as, like, what the name would be. I don't know, it feels very the concept feels very Eastern European.
I don't know why I have the name Tuanya in my head.
Tuanya?
Yeah, Tuanya. I don't even know if that's an actual name.
How would you spell it?
In my mind, it's Tuanya.
Tuanya. Tuanya, the
teacher.
Tuanya the teacher. I like that. God, hair everywhere. Work harder, folks. Remember, Tuanya the teacher. We must never tire as a community. That sounds pretty good. I like it. I think that sounds great.
Nice. I'm glad.
Renvali, thank you very much for that.
Mm-hmm.
Tuanya the teacher. Emphasis on hard work, growth, and togetherness. Seeds in rows grow strong. Seeds scattered. Something.
It's in my like immense like freaking impulse to want to rhyme it with shatter.
Right? Seeds scattered, community shattered. Question mark.
Yeah.
We can come back to that. I think that's going to require another shower thinking second session. We'll put that.
Yeah.
Okay. Saskatoon, I don't know what to do because it's already got like the monarchy stuff, which is basically already kind of like super religious. If I was gonna pick anything, I think there is kind of like I don't know. Is it on the nose to have a lion deity here?
Like a little bit, but I mean, it doesn't mean that it's wrong.
Because I'm thinking some.
Or it could be like some like a sphinx kind of creature, or like a griffin.
Yeah.
Not a griffin.
I like the idea of a sphinx.
Yeah.
Like a non-Egyptian sphinx.
Yeah.
Sphinx, an emphasis. Like, I like the idea of something that emphasizes pride and leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some kind of like patron spirit.
Yeah.
Good thinking, Scraw. I like it. It's kind of like something that's all about like pride, like the spiritual embodiment of keep calm and carry on. Like the
Stay in lane.
Yeah.
Do nothing inane.
Yeah. Songa, please. I was just holding you.
I demand attention, father.
You have a full dish. I've made sure you have everything you needed before the show started. You're not hard done by, but you yowl like you're being killed. Every night like this. Sphinx. Royal Spirit. Not crayon. Finger guns. Seskatar.
Oh, like it could be kind of named after.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
Like
could
it's
work.
just kind of like a
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah. The patron spirit Seskatar. Seskatar gives us strength when we waver.
Yeah, I like that. I think that kind of suits like the yeah.
Yeah, I like that. We'll go with Seskatar for now. Cat needs attention always. Yeah. No, mine does. He's very needy. Anytime anything upsets him, even the slightest, he's like, I need to lay on you for no less than 15 minutes. It's like I got stuff to do. We can't always do this. All right. Calgarn, I feel like something of luck and ideas.
Yeah.
Because it's very much a
Mm.
place where it's just like, man, if I could just get a break. Like,
Mhm. I feel like they would be a place that really likes to like have the Fae like contracts.
yeah, definitely. Because there's way more companies that spread up in Calagarn, and that's kind of one of the things
Mhm.
that's holding them back in their expansion. It's just a bunch of competing companies going
Mhm.
on in this place, and the Golden Satchel, who is the kind of go-to council, is a bit frustrated and trying to find a way to get more of these companies to kind of interact with each other. Like the guy who founded the main city in the new place owns a shipping company. He's a Triton who owns a shipping company, and I've
Ooh.
characterized him as kind of like a Silicon Valley business bro. Like he's very
Mhm.
much like, and he's already having a spat with a guy who founded another town further in and took up the river shipping lanes.
Mm.
Uh,
So
yeah,
I kind of am thinking about like maybe their god could also be kind of like the god of the sun because it could like the sun can like, kind of sometimes in their symbol look like a gold coin, which is
right.
luck.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and you always want sunny days
Oh
for good
yes.
luck. So, And I kind of like wonder if maybe like this empire should have like two main like kind of gods, like one for luck like with the sun and
Mm-hmm.
then like one for the moon, which is what is like people use to curse other people.
Yeah, it's like the I want your business to fail.
Yeah, like it's kind of like the name that they call out,
Right.
like instead of saying like God, like the good God damn you, you say the bad God damn you.
Right, right. Like a brother sister team.
Yeah, two sides of the same coin.
Absolutely. Lady of the Sunlit Coin? Question mark?
Um,
What's another term for coin?
the
Late?
thesaurus.
Thesaurus.
This the uh, coin.
Coin. Currency. Copper, cash, change, chips, dough, gold, coinage, piece.
Bread. um,
Uh, Legal tender. Meter money. Our Lady of the Shining Legal Tender.
God.
Sounds like a Futurama joke. Uh, Our Lady of the Shining Peace.
um,
The Shining Chips. Shining. Lady of the Shining
um,
Purse.
maybe. Lady Luck of the Shining Purse.
Yeah. Lady Luck of the Shining Purse. And like maybe like the religion has just become somewhat of a big grift in the country as well. Like there are people that are like, "Hey, gain favor with the Shining Purse for your business."
Oh God!
And like I picture it as like a very corporatized religion. Like there are
Yeah,
businesses set up for both sides of this deity, oftentimes run out of the same building.
yeah. Like some people like they do the god or like holiday things because like religion, but then the other ones that are definitely it's just the commercialized
Oh yeah,
aspect of it.
absolutely. Like there's true believers, and then there's other people that are like, "This is a great idea."
Yeah.
Brother of the empty satchel. I don't know.
Hmm. Brother of the spilled goblet.
Ooh, I like that. And maybe he just looks kind of like sad and stuff, or maybe he looks very tricksy. Maybe he enjoys it. Maybe he's like a slick dude leaning up against the wall, dumping it out in front of somebody.
Yeah, I was like, never said that it was his goblet.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Brother of the spilled goblet. Hey, do you want to curry favor with the brother of the spilled goblet? Make sure he dumps out somebody else's earnings. I love it. I think this is great.
Yeah.
Sibling deities. Representing boom and bust.
Hell yeah, I like that. Boom and bust. Yes.
When you're having good ideas and things are awesome and you're making money, you thank the sun lady. That's the Lady Luck of the Shining Purse. And if you're having bad times, you've been cursed by the brother of the spilled goblet.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so cool. We did it. We made a pantheon.
We did it.
That was easy.
Yeah. It's great when you have someone to actually like throw things off of.
Oh, it's look. Normally I just talk to the chat about stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, kind of like the churches and stuff found in Reno and Vegas, Rob. Exactly. It's gonna be right up that alley. Oh, I love that idea. That's so good. Oh, I love it. What a corporate religion for what a corporate country I created. It's perfect. I think that's it. What else do we want to do? We got our religion. No. Do we want to create any other deities? Maybe we create more deities. We got time. Maybe there's a dragon god that everyone's afraid of.
Maybe.
And maybe it's one of those things where it's just like, oh, you don't want to anger this creature in the Scale Lands.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there's some important rule that starts with S.
Oh, I like that idea that there's a sun on one side and a moon on the other side for the currency. It's a good idea, Scraw. I'm going to put it in.
Ooh, yeah, yes. Thank you, Scraw.
Excellent idea. Excellent idea. Sun and moon on currency. Calgarn deities. The corporate deities. Dragon god. I think it's kind of like, I don't know, if I'm picturing a dragon god of the Scale Lands, I'm picturing like like some kind of incredibly powerful dragon, and if you mess with the scale lands, you'll bring its ire on you, and it may or may not exist. Like, it's one of those things where it's like nobody knows, but it's so terrifying you don't want to test it. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Kind of. It makes me think of I think it's Norse mythology with the like the world serpent.
The
Um
Jormungandr.
yeah, and like maybe they believe that the mountain range is like the spine of
It's
this
just part of
dragon
this.
god that and like if you fuck up on this scales land, it will rise.
Do not anger the Magna Drake.
Ooh. Yes.
The Magna Drake makes up the Scale Lands, and all of the dragons that exist in the Scale Lands are its children, and they reside on its back. And if you awaken the Magna Drake, the entire world will be destroyed. Is it real? Who knows?
Who knows?
Drake. World-ending dragon kaiju. I mean, it's basically what it is.
It is. They're asleep. It's fine.
Makes up the Scale Lands. All dragons are his kin. Alright. Got a giant, crazy dragon god. I love it. Okay. Got that set up. What other deities could we have for this place? What if we had like an evil spirit that like drives ghosts insane? Like a dark necromancer. Or like a dark like when a spirit in Renvali starts to like or a spirit in Melongar starts to like lose its mind a little bit, it's because this person has gotten into their head. This creature, this being, this influence.
Come in contact with a spectral psyker.
Yes. Spectral psyker?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Spectral psyker. Sangha, please.
We must make a god for Sangha.
A couple people have asked me to put Sangha in the world at some point as a tabaxi. But like,
yes.
I don't know. I'd have
Tabaxi
to just
god.
make a tabaxi that, like, anytime anything upsets him, he needs somebody to cuddle him for a long period of time. And it's like even the slightest. It's just like knocks something off of a table, hangs head, begins rubbing up against somebody. And it's
Yeah.
it's like I need you to comfort me. I'm just having a rough day.
I'm just having a rough day. Please hold.
Please take care of me. Spectral Psyker causes spiritual madness. All right. Ooh, I like that too. Like Tabaxi that just screams, "Ah! Why?"
God, it's like a new mythology, like kind of like a banshee scream, but it's just the tabaxi, tabaxi yowl.
The Tabaxi yowl, the ongoing Tabaxi yowl.
There's a ghost story about a tabaxi that just screams at night.
He just gets very upset with you because somebody had disturbed his sleep, and now he needs to go lie down.
You do not give it attention though, because they will then smother you to death.
Yeah, this is just roll all over you, and it's over. It's done.
Yep.
That's all you got. Frick, I think we got a damn good pantheon right now. We got a good setup here. All right, you know what? I wanted to do something else.
Okay.
And if you still got time, I certainly don't want to keep you. But I was going to make a new creature.
Oh.
So hear me out. Check this out.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm always making new things. Tell me.
So this place, because this place has no trace of civilization whatsoever,
Hmm.
certain creatures that are dependent on the kind of ecosystem of dungeons and adventurers entering dungeons have adapted and changed.
Mm.
So, for example, mimics. Mimics tend to take the shapes of, like, household objects, right? Like
Yes.
barrels or chests or whatever have you. Mimics in this world have had to adapt to hunt wild game. So the mimics of this world turn into, like, apple trees and berry bushes.
I'm just imagining the scene from The Wizard of Oz with the freaking trees just aggressively throwing the fruit at them.
Like,
Oh no.
don't eat from the candy tree. You're right. He's right to caution you. I eat children.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of thing. Like, you're in danger of mimics if you go out foraging in this
Oh
world.
god.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's what they would have to do to survive. That's where their food source would come from.
Mm-hmm.
Or they might even try to disguise themselves as prey animals if they adapted to eat predators.
Oh god.
So maybe a mimic is pretending to be the corpse of a deer.
Ooh, that's fucked up and I love it.
Isn't it crazy?
I love that, yes.
So I wanted to play with that idea. That's pretty easy. That doesn't require anything else. But I wanted to play with some other different, like, classic D&D beasts.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this idea because it's very cold in the Treasured Expanse. I wanted to create a bullet that specializes in burrowing through frozen soil.
You say a bullet or
A bullet. So bullets are like these weird. They're called, like, land sharks.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just Bullette. They're just wild looking creatures. But these guys.
Oh, I haven't actually okay.
So their whole thing is they burrow underground and then they come up under people and just swallow them up.
Okay.
They can also jump really far.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think some better pictures of them. Yeah, they've changed over the years, but there's a lot of different styles of them. But it's bullet or land shark. And I like the idea of one. Because, of course, the soil would be much harder.
Mm-hmm.
It would be much more difficult to move through. So what if we had a bullet that had, like, maybe the front of its beak just kind of, like, glows red hot?
Ooh, yeah.
And it's got, like, maybe, like, area fire damage or something?
Yeah, I think that would be good.
What would people call it? Say you see a bullet for the first time, or a brand new, you've known bullets before. You see this one, it's got this bright red head, and there's like a column of steam that comes up from the ground wherever it goes.
Fucking.
Bullet red head, bullet rage head. A bullet steamer?
Ooh, yeah, maybe.
Bullet
Um,
steamer?
I'm thinking.
All right, you think. I'm gonna add some damage to this thing. Special
Yeah,
trait.
some damage.
Heat aura. I need to bold that. Bullet.
Nice. Yeah, I like the bullet steamer, to be honest.
All right, we can go with bullet steamer. The bullet steamer emits intense heat, and it could be like this thing, like you just see the ground churning up, and then just like,
oh god,
like a train's coming at you from underground, and it has teeth.
No. Freaking aggressive Thomas the Tank Engine noises.
Right? Okay, emits intense heat. Heat from its head. Its head. If you end your turn within 5 feet of it, you must take... I don't know, what's a good amount of fire damage?
What level do you want this thing to be?
I mean, standard steamer is a CR5.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I think 5 damage is a good amount.
Yeah.
It's like, let's take 5 fire damage. Anything that is flammable that makes contact with the head, ignites. Flammable. There we go. God, what a just like ah!
Just screams.
It's like puffs of steam coming up from the breaks in the earth.
Oh god.
And it moves too fast.
Oh no. Frickin' it's god, it's like a geyser.
Yeah, right? It's like bursting out there. And it's worth when it stops because it's about to leap out of the ground and mess with you or something.
Ah, no. God.
I love it. I like that. So, and it's weird because it's going to be a hard time with this world because this is going to be a world where there aren't a lot of... I have to build most of my threats around, like, mindless creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there's... I have to pick my creatures carefully. If there's something that can talk and is old enough to know what happened here, they can just ask it and be like, hey, what happened here?
Like, hey, what the fuck? What's up?
What's going on here? So yeah. I need to keep myself to creatures that, can't speak and are, like, older. So I was also thinking about, like, because I've been looking through monstrosities as of late, which is a particular section of monsters that are just like weird things.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of freaky shit in here, and I was thinking maybe I could like adapt some regional versions of these. You know, like how they have the regional versions of Pokemon. Like it's just like,
yes.
So it's like this, but it's different because it was in this other environment, right?
Yeah. I love that.
So I was thinking about cave fishers, which are just like these weird like spider scorpions.
Oh yeah, the big spiders. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have this like sticky saliva strand that they like dip down from things.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, the filament.
Yeah, but there wouldn't be a lot of things hanging around in caves out here. So maybe...
One moment, you have a needy cat and I have a needy dog. I will take care of her 1 second.
That's okay. You may take care of your needy dog.
Yeah.
We got cave fishers. I was thinking about cockatrices, too. Oh, Craig cats. I should put more Craig cats. They only appear in Storm King's Thunder. Which is weird, I think. They should be in more things. Hashtag justice for Craig cats. Deep crows, weird demogorgons, displacer beast kittens, dracahydras, draconian mastermind, drider, dragonfish dragon flesh abomination, egg hunter, hatchling, ettercat.
Okay.
Hello.
What about like a roper, but it's
Okay.
like taking on the form of like, the hanging upside down like ice.
Oh,
Yeah, instead of like that, it's like the frozen icicles on like hanging like
a sickle
from things.
frost roper.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, I like the idea behind that. Sickle frost roper.
Yeah.
Let's make a sickle frost roper. I'm gonna kill somebody. I'll be like, it was Zuzu's idea.
Go ahead, blame me.
Okay, okay. As long as it's on tape, we're good.
Yep.
Oh, I like that. How do I spell sickle? Goddamn. Sickle frost rover. Ooh, I like that. Indistinguishable from a normal icicle. And maybe they're smaller. Like they had to
Yeah.
change shape, right?
Yeah.
God. Crazy? How many C's does icicle have in it? Okay, just two. It's motionless, indistinguishable from a normal icicle. Each tendril has an AC of 10 and 10 hit points. Let's bring that down. Let's say it's 5. This is a smaller boy. This is a smaller boy. Had to adapt to a smaller size to hang upside down. And, I mean, icicles don't generally get that big. So tendrils, you gotta make a 15 strength check. I think we'll keep the strength check. They're just as strong with the tendrils. They're weird magical creatures.
Yes.
And we'll make the AC drop it down a little bit. Maybe the AC is 15? A little bit more hittable, but not super hittable. They can spider climb, all right. They got multi-attack, but maybe they've got a frosty breath.
Ooh.
Maybe the tendrils just make you cold. Maybe they deal cold damage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe they're
Like frostbite.
yeah. Maybe they add like a frostbite to them. God, I'm so unfamiliar with the coding for monsters on D&D Beyond. I think I might just write these down until I learn this better. Sickle frost. Ropers. Smaller. Deal cold damage. With tentacles. Maybe if you're grabbed by 2 or more tentacles, it like puts you in a frozen paralytical state.
Ooh. Like friggin'
Just like
cold shock.
yeah, just like a freezy pop. Like it just grabs you and it's like I'll meet you. And chili bite. Yeah, maybe not a shilly bite, but a chili bite. I like that. Okay, we got bullet steamer. We got sickle frost rover. I'm just gonna save this as is. Save, damn it. Why? Okay, I think I got it at the bottom. There we go. Sickle frost rover. I like it. I like it a lot. Huh? What else we got? Monsters. Body taker plant? What's a body taker plant?
Body taker plant.
What?
What the fuck?
What is this?
What the Oh, what?
Tell me more. Okay, body taker plant. Whether hailing from the stars or sprouting from hidden depths, religious vegetation known as body taker plants seek to become the dominant form of life wherever they appear. These invasive organisms subvert whole societies by consuming individuals. These are pod. These are pod people. This is invasion of the body snatchers shit.
Oh my god.
I'm definitely putting these in, but I don't think I need to modify them.
No.
Okay, that's something. Mushroom people. This is always mushroom people. That doesn't. What about a goth? What is a goth? Oh, that's like a. It's like a moss bear.
Oh.
What? Tell me more about groths. Many strixhaven and bayous. Oh, this is like a swamp bear. It's like swamp claws and that kind of thing. It's already a very natural beast, but I'm gonna keep it in mind. Corpse flowers. Corpse flowers are nest. Lycanthro pickle? No. I'm not doing it.
No.
I'm not doing it. Needle blight, shrieker, thorny. Thorny is never what I think it is. It's like some kind of fungal creature. But like every time I see the name, like an Alzheimer's patient, I'm like, thorny? What's a thorny? Oh, right, this. That's what a thorny is. Tree blight, tribal spore warrior, triflower frond, veggie pygmy, vine blights, wood woads. It's a yellow musk creeper. Oh, it's just like a flower with claws. What? What? This doesn't tell me anything. Tell me more, yellow musk creeper. Okay, yellow musk creeper is an unholy vine whose flowers resemble an orchid, bright yellow, purple trees, flowers. Musk attracts its prey. Yellow musk clings to walls, pillars, and gravestones, frames, statuary, and motionless until it strikes. Humanoid destroys the minds of humanoids and plants bulbs in those it kills. Okay.
Oh.
So this is like a low challenge rating pod person thing. I don't know if there's anything I can use there. Let's try something else. Let's try aberrations. Those are some weird things.
Ooh, maybe you could make like what's it called? The trying to remember what they're called. I know that they're either an aberration or they're a monstrosity. The jaguar things with the tentacle tails.
Oh yes. Oh, come on, brain. You were just looking at this. Displacer beast. There we go.
Displacer beast. No. Yes. Like, what if you like make like a snow leopard form of that?
Snow leopard displacer beast.
Yeah.
I like that too. Put that in there as an idea. Snow leopard, leopard, displacer beast. Also like the idea of like I'm just gonna type like like a frost or lightning breath gorgon.
Ooh.
Or even like a fire gorgon, like a brazen bull.
Oh, hold on. Scraw knows about this creature, like if they're still here. There's actually a monster that I had made in Atlantis that they had specifically came upon when they were in a very frosted over and snowy area.
Hmm.
And I think you could use some kind of like worm, like, uh, traits for it. But basically, it was just like th this big fucking worm, but it had faces on both ends of it.
Oh.
Yeah, and it had multiple eyes, and it just had like this leathery body that was like similar to what's it called? An anglerfish.
Okay.
Yeah, and it digs underground and like waits for the vibrations to like come up and just like grab them and drag them under.
Oh, like Tremors.
Yeah.
I love it. I like the idea of worms too. Like I was gonna just throw like a frost worm in somewhere because there've been many iterations of frost worms.
Hmm.
There isn't one currently, unless you count like Guardians of Wildermont from.
It's also only able to be killed with fire
Oh,
because you can't just like cut it because it has two ends. It was kind of inspired by how like if you cut a worm in half, it can still live. It just now has two bodies.
it'll just keep going.
Yep.
Nice. It's awesome. I love that setup. Woe Strider. Oh, Woe
Yeah,
Strider's
Straw's just
horrible.
immediately like, oh no.
Oh no!
Because that thing almost took their player's leg. Like their player character's leg.
Jeez. Grows two. I like the idea behind that. These are some good variations. Frostworm. Gotta have frostworms. Frozen toads. So you know those like
Ooh.
top frogs and toads that like basically become a chunk of ice to
Yeah.
hibernate?
Mm-hmm.
But like some malevolent version of that.
Oh God.
Where it's like if you make your camp too close, you'll like unthaw one and it'll start eating you or something.
Oh God.
They're indistinguishable from like a frosty rock sometimes. I like that idea too. Okay, so we got some good ideas for the monsters too. Oh, hey, you know what you could help me with too? While we're thinking about names and characters and stuff. So, I created this area here, the Shrouded Hills. Shrouded Hills is one of the safer places in the Treasured Expanse because it's got so much running water around it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of become this bustling farming community. And one of the farms I've made is just kind of run by this family, the Fettlbur. So the Fettlbur family is from the Skatoon Empire, and they've kind of become the poster family for moving to the Treasured Expanse. Their whole story, they're a real rags to riches story. Like they've established this big, bustling, successful farm in this new place, and they were struggling back home. So they're used in a lot of propaganda back home. And so you kind of have like the father who's not super into it and just kind of wants to run his farm. And then you have the mother who's like super into it and is like soaking it up and likes to be in the spotlight and everything. And then I wasn't sure what to do with some of the family. So we got the mother. I wanted to have a son and his wife. I wanted to have one son with a husband because I thought it'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then a daughter with a husband. And I wasn't sure what to call them and what to do with them. You have any ideas?
Hmm.
I know it's a tricky one, right?
Yeah. Maybe the son with a husband, like found a way to scavenge for like medicinal herbs and everything that like is in that area.
Oh yeah.
And like his husband is actually an adventurer that he had found hurt.
Ooh.
And he was able to, like, nurse him back to health with, like, his ability of, like, what he found to be able to make medicine in this new area.
Nice. Herbalist. And medicine maker. Oland. I just called him Oland out of the blue because I guess whatever. Healed him with herbs. Okay, it's a good setup. It's a good setup. What should Oland be? Not a woe strider. That would be weird, I think. I mean, I want my world to be very progressive and multicultural, but it's like, here's my husband, the woe strider. Creed! Your husband's spreading woe all over the place. It's becoming a problem.
What race is this family again?
They're human.
Oh,
They're a human family, so...
Kind of like imagining him being like an orc, like he just now has a big orc husband.
A big orc husband? I'm down for it. Let's do big orc husband. Oland. Orc. Alright. What do we do with son 1? Let's call him Timothy. Timothy! And his wife Filblade. Filblade. Fred.
Ophelia.
Ophelia? Sure.
Yeah.
Ophelia. What's Ophelia's story? I feel like Timothy, I mean, he's son 1. Maybe he's firstborn. Maybe he's trying to live up to dad's legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Firstborn son. Trying to live up. So what's Uzu's think about undead, Uwu? Oh, God. This guy's here.
Hello.
He wants to know what you think about undead.
That entirely depends on my character, because I think undead is like pretty cool and you can do a lot of things with that, even outside of being like a villain. But then I also have characters like a Shadowkai who is like a part of the Raven Queen's like military, who is just like absolutely not.
Never.
Like, do not.
Do not.
And then I have my swashbuckler rogue, Noella, who is dealing with a bunch of undead, and she's just like, God damn it, can't you just stay asleep? Like, please. Like, listen, like, I don't care if you come back, but, like, you're kind of ruining the ecosystem, and, like, I'm bleeding out. I need you to stop.
So he sees it as his role to take over the farm someday. What is Ophelia? What is Ophelia? Let's make Ophelia something weird. Let's
something weird? Okay.
Let's make her unusual. What?
Triton.
Oh, Triton. She could be a Triton. Let's make her a Triton.
Yeah.
A Triton this far from land next to the river? Yeah, let's make her a Triton.
Hell yeah. Freaking freshwater Triton, man.
Oh, I made the leader of the Saskatoon Navy.
Mm-hmm.
Also a Triton, and I made it that her brother is the guy who established Calgarn settlement city, that California business bro guy who runs the shipping company I told you about. So I made that dude her brother. I made him a former resident of the Skatoon Empire who went to Calgarn to kind of found his company and get rich.
Oh my god.
Because I thought it'd be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Titan. Let's go with Catherine. What's Catherine's story? Catherine, youngest, the daughter. Catherine's got her own husband. She's grown up. Maybe she doesn't want to. Maybe she don't want anything to do with this farm life anymore.
Maybe she's a little rebel.
Maybe she's like, I got 2 brothers. They can run the farm. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Catherine wants to return to the Empire. She would love nothing more than to take a portion of the wealth the family has gathered and live in opulence back in Skatoon. Her husband, I kind of want to call him Rolo.
Okay.
And what is Rolo? Rolo is... I feel like if that's what she wants, I feel like Rolo is like a high society dude.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Rolo is from... I think he's from the Empire. And maybe he came here to meet her after, like, reading all the stories about this family that, like, made it big here. Because they're, like, the buzz. They're the farmers who tamed the treasured expanse, right? Like, they're a little famous back in the Empire.
Yeah.
I kind of want to make him a rabbit.
I mean, yeah, like freaking make him a rabbit.
Let's make him a rabbit.
Like, I don't know why I just started thinking is like maybe like freaking what if he's not there just yet?
Maybe it's like a long distance relationship.
It's a long distance relationship, like they're pen pals, and like they are planning to try to have like a wedding ceremony there so that he can come there and then take her back with him.
I love it.
Like a big like this big whole side plot that you can possibly like do to where
absolutely.
Yeah.
Harengon does not live with the family. Is back in Skatoon. They have a long distance relationship. They do a lot of sending.
Yeah.
They do a lot of sending back and forth. It's just ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of like proper noble rabbit.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. That's so good. We're filling all kinds of stuff out today. Save this. I think we got enough time. Maybe I'll get your input on this new area that I need to start some work on.
Yeah, sure.
Before we call it a night. So, this is kind of the known explored area so far.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the New Haven Plains. This is where the initial settlements, the Ghost Lands, where all the abandoned settlements were after the first last light. And then the Shrouded Hills, which we just went through. And then there's the Fickle Plains. So I've decided to divide the Fickle Plains up because I made one section when I did this as a one-shot to kind of test the concept out. And that was this area here.
Okay.
And I ended up making that the Fickle Tundra, kind of the northern portion, because I found out like I got a ton of extra room now. What am I going to put down there? So I've got to make like the lower Fickle Plains. So
Ah.
I'm not sure what to do with that. So I'm going to go here. And I'm going to resize map. Come on now. I'm just going to grab this section. Actually, I think I might need to go up a little bit. Because we're about to here in the other map.
Okay.
And then, yeah, there we go. All right, confirm. Save and proceed. And it makes a new map. I'm thinking about what to put here, because this is going to be like the edge of civilization. Like, this is going to be the last place where people see settlements, and then after this, it's going to be like you're in the woods. Because the terrain is too difficult and too treacherous.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining the kind of place where it's like there's a lot of trading posts, there's a lot of hunting shacks and kind of thing. Oh, Gentleman Rabbit, I love it. Okay, so I'm just imagining him in like this nice vest and stuff. This little rabbit man exchanging romantic sendings with this lady who runs a farm back.
Dapper Rabbit.
The Dapper Rabbit. The Dapper Rabbit is an excellent name for a pub. Welcome to the Dapper Rabbit. We're going to extend the river a little bit. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Now, what should be in the Fickle Plains? So there'd be two roads coming in. There'd be a road coming down from the previous area, and there'd be a road coming out from here. And there's just like one little farm stationed over on this corner next to the river. And then they'd kind of come up to the center here. And maybe it's like a frontier trading town. Maybe it's like a fortress place because they don't know what they're dealing with. What do you think?
Trying to
Walled town.
think about history or like other fantasy settings that I've seen that.
Yeah, like kind of like a fort, I guess.
Yeah, it could be kind of like a fort, like I don't know, maybe kind of like an outpost or something.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this place that's out here on the very edges, the fringes, is just like a Royal Saskatoon trading post. Just there to kind of encourage more exploration, but also like, you know, nobody else is out here yet, so we got to put something, like, kind of thing.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
Okay. Royal Saskatoon. Trading posts. What's the subtitle in the trading post? Far Reach?
Yeah, I think Far Reach sounds good.
Far Reach trading post. All right. And who should we have in charge of here? Royal Saskatoon representative. In my mind, this guy could go one or two ways. Like, either this is a dude that is excited about the possibilities of this post and hopes that someday this trading post will give birth to this burgeoning city. Like, he's either optimistic about it, or he's just like, I hate this post. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. I've been shipped away because my uncle doesn't like me, or something. Like something. He's just like depressed about it, right? And I'm not sure which way to land on it. I feel like it could go either way.
I like the thought of like the nephew that was set out there because his uncle hates him, and now like he's trying the only reason why he's actually sticking around and doing this is because he can believe that like he could like if the right adventurers come along and actually explore farther out, that he could find like this great like treasure out there that he can get so that he can become above his uncle.
Prominent RSTC executive. He was shipped out here as a kind of punishment. He is hoping to prove his value to the company in order to get a new posting. Closer to home. I like it. Now, what is he?
Hobgoblin.
He's a hobgoblin? Let's make him a
Yeah.
hobgoblin. I'm down with it. Proper business hobgoblin nephew.
Yeah.
Nephew. Okay. Representative. Hobgoblin. Alright, what do we want to call this dude?
Theodore.
Theodore?
Theodore.
Theodore Rexley. Needs to hold up to the Rexley family name.
Yes.
Theodore Rexley, hobgoblin, prominent executive, prominent member of the RSTC, Royal Saskatoon Trading Company.
Yes.
That's not a bad acronym. I think that I used that word wrong. Anyways, that's not a bad shortening for that. I tell you, I've been on camera all day. I woke up this morning, I ran a Patreon game. I had 2 hours, and then I came into this.
Oh God, yeah, no. Let's call it out so you can get some rest, my dude.
I think oh my God, I had to do it. I got a new job, and then I had to like do some things, and I couldn't do my Patreon game last Friday, so I had to like reschedule them. And it's like Saturday work. Actually, no, it was yesterday. Oh my God, what a week!
What a week.
Well, look, I think we got a ton of great world building done.
Yeah.
Uzu, thanks so much for coming and doing this with me. This was great. I had a great time.
Yeah, I had fun.
So cool to build stuff with you.
Yeah.
I look forward to more stuff. Let me know what you'd like for those coat of arms. Can't wait to see what you come up with. And yeah, I think we'll call it quits from there. To review, what did we do today, everybody? We created a pantheon. We came up with some ideas of regional variants of monsters. That was pretty cool. We filled up a farm family with cool people, and we created a long distance relationship with a business rabbit. I mean, that's probably the coolest thing about today. Although the pantheon was pretty good. I'm really pleased.
I had fun with the pantheon, yeah. But I also love the rabbit.
The business rabbit is great. Long distance business rabbit. Like they're not even like characters yet, and I'm already like invested in their relationship. And then we've created our long out of the way outpost with our screw up nephew, who's just looking to win his way back home.
Yeah.
That's it for today, everyone. This will be the last Saturday stream. I'm only going to do these on Wednesdays now because I'm doing it too fast. The ideas are coming too quickly. I need to waste more time, mess around some more, eat more stew, and pet my cat.
Especially pet your cat.
But especially pet my cat. And bring more guests and just talk to them about my world and see what's up. Next Wednesday, I believe I'm having Kai on, who is somebody you don't know yet, but you will get to know very well in the future, I assure you. thank you again so much for joining me. We should do more. We should hang out more.
Yeah, we'll hang out more, do some more
I gotta
games. Like,
play at
yeah,
your
I love it.
table, man. Next time you got a spot, you let me know.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, absolutely.
And I got some stuff I want to do with you too, but I gotta fill it out, and you're busy too. But we'll work it out. Anyways, thank you so much again. Thank you everybody for watching. And if you're catching this on the replay, Uzu, tell them where to find you and what you do.
Oh shit, no. Okay. No, it's okay. I'm like kind of getting used to it now just because of Scales Above. So yeah, I'm RogueUzu, also known as just Kelsey. And but on Twitter and on YouTube, I am just RogueUzu. On YouTube, I talk about the first game that I ever ran called Atlantis. It is a World of Darkness game where a lot of shit happened. It was the very first game I ever ran, and I definitely dove right into the deep end. And on Twitter, I draw a bunch of things, usually about like all the games that I run and my own comic series. Yeah, that's me.
That's awesome. And check it out. It's so cool. I remember when I first saw you on Twitter, you just had a couple pieces of art up at the time, and I'm like, this person's gonna be big. I'll watch him in my show. I was betting on you from the beginning, and I knew I was right.
Oh, thank you.
But it's so good to have you here. Look out for RogueUzu's art. There's a bunch on our channel as well. And if you want to play in this world that I'm creating, you can do it if you head over to the links that keep showing up in the chat there. Start Playing Games has it set up where you can come and play in this. I'm running a test version on Saturdays. Ugh, too much light. Sorry, I ended up looking at my ring light for a long time today. And I'm running a test version of this called Countdown to Last Light. I'll be able to do them on Saturdays consistently if I have players. So go sign up and you can play a test version of this anytime you like. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday.